Here is your long, emotional, hook-driven story, no headings, smooth flow, 2 chapters, and a powerful ending message. A main male character has a new English name as you prefer. The night everything changed didn't start like a rescue story, it started with a mistake. A mistake that would drag 2 strangers into a fire, into each other's lives, and into a truth neither of them knew they were missing. And if you think you know how a rescue ends, with gratitude, flowers, or at least a soft thank you, you haven't met Elena Ward. Or the single dad who saved her life, Lucas Hale. Their first words to each other would ignite a story that refuses to let the heart go. Lucas Hale never tried to be a hero. He was just a father trying to make life work, juggling his daughter's late-night school project and an extra shift at the bakery. He had no idea that one decision, taking a shortcut through the alley behind Wardcorp Tower, would put him in front of a burning building. Flames crawled up the glass like hungry hands, alarms screamed into the night, and smoke poured out in thick waves. People ran out in panic, but someone shouted that one woman was still on the 20th floor. Everyone froze. No one moved. No one tried. But Lucas did. He sprinted into the building without thinking. The staircase was a choking tunnel, each step a fight between survival and instinct. He didn't know her name. He didn't know she was the CEO. He didn't know she was the woman the entire city admired or feared. He just knew someone was trapped, and he couldn't leave her behind. When he broke into the office, the smoke was a thick blanket. He found her half-conscious, slumped beside a shattered window. Her eyes fluttered open for a second, and he saw fear, raw, human fear, in a woman the world called unbreakable. Without hesitation, he lifted her and began the long descent through fire, collapsing beams, and a stairwell that felt like a furnace. By the time he reached the ground, collapsing with her still in his arms, applause erupted around them. Cameras flashed. People shouted, but when she finally opened her eyes, the first thing she said wasn't thank you. It was a whisper, sharp and confused. Why did you save me? Lucas had no answer. That question, not gratitude, not relief, became the thread that tied their lives together. Lucas tried to walk away quietly that night, but news crews followed him. Wardcorp called him a hero. The city praised him. But none of that mattered. What stayed with him was her question. Why? Why did he save her? What kind of person asked that? When Elena Ward awoke in the hospital the next morning, she wasn't thinking about fire or death or even survival. She was thinking about the stranger who ran into a collapsing tower for someone he didn't know. She was thinking about the way he looked at her, not with admiration, not with fear, but with disappointment. And she hated it. Because she knew why she had asked that question. Because deep down, for years, Elena believed she wasn't worth saving. As she recovered, her powerful board members came to visit her, journalists begged for interviews, and investors sent flowers. She ignored them all. Instead, she asked her assistant to find him. The single dad with ash on his clothes, a burn on his arm, and eyes that had seen too much for his young age. Lucas Hale. A man who worked 2 jobs, who walked everywhere because he couldn't afford a car, and who was raising a 9-year-old girl alone after losing his wife in a hit-and-run that was never solved. Life had carved hardship into him, but left kindness untouched. When Elena saw him again, standing awkwardly at her hospital door, she didn't know how to speak. He looked uncomfortable in the silence. She finally said, quieter this time, I didn't mean the way it sounded. Lucas folded his arms. Then how did you mean it? She hesitated. People don't usually choose me. Not without a reason. Lucas sighed. I didn't save your title. Or your company. I saw someone who needed help. That's all. It was the first time anyone had spoken to her like she was simply human. Days became weeks. Elena invited him to the office to thank him properly. She insisted on helping with his daughter's school scholarship. She asked questions about his life, and he asked why she worked so hard she forgot how to live. Somewhere between their conversations, unexpected warmth grew, slow, hesitant, real. Lucas didn't care about her power, her reputation, or her icy armor. Elena didn't care that he wasn't wealthy, that he had scars life never apologized for. They simply cared about each other, but the world wasn't ready. Rumors exploded. Investors warned her. His co-workers teased him. Elena's board said a CEO couldn't be seen with a man from the lower side of the city. Lucas tried to pull away for her sake. She tried to push him away for his. But their hearts refused an exit point one night. As they walked near the same alley where the fire began, Elena confessed something she had never told anyone, that fire wasn't an accident. Someone wanted me gone. Lucas froze. What do you mean? She pulled out a flash drive, trembling in her hand, evidence of corruption inside WardCorp, something she had discovered days before the fire. Something someone burned a building down to destroy. Lucas didn't think twice. He took her hand. You're not facing this alone. The investigation that followed was brutal. It threatened to destroy her reputation, his safety, and their fragile connection. But together, they exposed the truth. The man responsible, a board member hungry for power, was arrested. The city hailed her bravery. But she pointed at Lucas during the press conference and said, voice steady and full, he saved me twice, once from a fire, and once from a life where I thought I didn't matter. For the first time since the fire, she looked at him with a smile instead of fear. Later, when they finally stood alone, Elena whispered the words she owed him from the start, not out of obligation, but out of love. Thank you for saving me, even when I didn't know how to be saved. Lucas brushed a strand of hair behind her ear. You were worth saving the moment I saw you. And for the first time, Elena believed it. Their story didn't end with fire, it began with it. A single dad who thought he had nothing left to give crossed paths with a CEO who thought she had everything but still felt empty. Together, they rebuilt not just a company, not just a life, but a new beginning born from smoke, honesty, and a courage neither knew they had. And the lesson they left behind for anyone who heard their story was simple. Sometimes the person who saves you isn't the hero you expected, it's the one who sees the part of you you forgot existed.